You're just planning 2023 and are thinking, how can I improve the productivity of my team? Awesome. I have 23 hacks how to improve your team's productivity. So let's get started. Focus on outcome instead of output, because happy customers bring more customers. So focus on outcome, aka happy customers, versus delivering 100 features, because maybe 20 awesome delivered features are already enough to make your customers happy. Have team values in your team, because decisions are much easier to make when you have principles and values in place. So do a team value workshop with your team and think about what are our team values and what does that actually mean for us. So for example, what means respect for us in the team? Have a team vision. Why does your team exist? This is highly motivating, especially in times where things are getting tough. It helps to have the focus and work on your big vision. Ulassa's vision is, for example, we want that every team in the world is enjoying their work. Improve social connection in your team. Did you know that social connection is the #1 factor for making your team happy? And as we all know, happiness is directly linked to higher productivity. So what are things you can do to increase the social connection in your team? For example, introduce kudos cards and the 2-minute appreciation, helping you to get your team into the first quartile of social connection. That's where we want to have them. Also have a look on the video where I was talking about the 2-minute appreciation. Introduce a retrospective. The goal is to increase quality and effectiveness in your team. Do this on a regular basis to harvest the benefits of the compound effect. For example, do a retrospective every 2 weeks for 90 minutes. Up here I'm talking about the 5 things which make up a highly effective retrospective. Introduce the happiness index in your team. We all know that happy teams make better stuff faster. So for instance, in your next retrospective, ask your team on a scale from 1 to 10, how happy are they with their role, with the team, with their company, and what are actions you can do to improve your situation, and then fix this by improving it in the next iteration. Introduce focus blocks. Every employee is interrupted 56 times per day. After 3 minutes, they are switching tasks. So it's highly important, as we are mostly knowledge workers. Introduce focus blocks. For example, 2 hours after lunch, there's no meetings, no talking, just focused work. Make work transparent. The art of maximizing the work not done is called simplicity. To do this, make the work of your team transparent. And for example, introduce a team backlog. Also check out my other video where I'm talking how to create a backlog. Have an emergency procedure. Did you ever fly in an airplane? In case of an emergency, do you want that the pilot is taking out their emergency checklist, or maybe just starting to think, what would be now a good thing to do? Let's try this out. Here a good 4-step emergency procedure you can immediately use in your team. First, change the way the work is done in your team. Second, get help. Third, reduce scope. Fourth, cancel work and replan your work, and also inform management. With this emergency procedure, you are safe to start into your year 2023, and if something happens, you just pull it out and go by it step by step. And if you're already successful with step 1, then don't do step 2, step 3 or step 4. Prioritize your work. have your work prioritized. So if new things are coming in, you can decide which to focus on first. And just 3 ideas what to focus on and prioritize. The first one is business value, whatever that means for you. The second one is dependencies to other topics. And third, risk reduction. Is this task reducing our risk? Limit your work in progress. Working on too many topics simultaneously will slow your team down because you have the switching costs and tasks are just too long in work in progress. For example, run experiment with your team and say, we are only going to work on 5 tasks simultaneously in the whole team. And then maybe in the next retrospective, you reflect and see how that works. Have a daily short team meeting to plan your day ahead. What are the most important things we want to achieve? What holds every team member back from their work? And what decisions do we have to make to achieve our goals? Keep the meeting short, maximum 15 minutes, and it will save you a lot of ad hoc meetings. And for example, do a daily meeting in front of your team backlog from 11:45 to 12. Oh, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Sven and I'm an Agile coach based in Austria. And if you like the content, please subscribe to my channel where I'm talking about how to make your teams happier and more productive. Make meetings more effective. We have all been in too many unproductive meetings. So one idea is to reduce the duration of the meetings. So maybe instead of 60 minutes, only have a 45-minute meeting scheduled. Make meetings more effective, part 2. So we have all been in too many unproductive meetings. Let's make the ones we keep more effective by inviting less participants. So maybe instead of 10 people, we only take 8 people. Introduce knowledge sharing sessions in your team. Every person in your team has unique knowledge. Why not share it in the team? It has so many benefits. People are getting into the habit of educating themselves. The presentation skills are improving and you're building a growth mindset in your team. So for example, every Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. set up a 1-hour knowledge sharing session. Use equal voice. Google figured out in their project Aristotle what makes teams high performance teams. And actually there are 2 things, and the first thing is equal voice. What can you do to have equal voice in your team? For instance, when you run a retrospective, use post-its so everyone gets the chance to say their word. Or introduce communication tools like planning poker cards, where teams are estimating the complexity of a task. Or introduce delegation poker cards, where your team decides what kind of things are delegated to people. Create a psychological safe environment. The second thing which determined if a team is a high performance team, according to Google Aristotle project, was psychological safety. What is psychological safety? Psychological safety is the belief that one will not be punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, questions, concerns or mistakes. One idea is to introduce a role like a Scrum Master in your team to create and also to foster a psychological safe environment. Create a definition of ready. When requirements are coming into your team but they are not clear, how should your team be able to create something of value? Shit in, shit out. So for example, set up a definition of ready to improve the quality of the requirements coming to your team. Create a definition of done. When your team delivers something and the customers are not happy, think about introducing a definition of done where you can secure the quality every time your team produces something. For example, in your next retrospective, create a first version of your definition of done and improve it along the way. Use swarming. Have you ever seen a Formula 1 pit stop? This is a great example how a whole team works together to get the pilot as quick as possible back on the racetrack. So in your team, for example, have 2 team members work together on one topic and finish it as quick as possible. But please also keep the definition of done in your mind. Finish early. Teams who finish early actually accelerate faster. This is one of the 9 patterns of high performance teams from the Scrum Field book. So actually pull in a little bit less work what you think you can accomplish, and if you finish earlier, then pull in more tasks for the iteration. Make good housekeeping. It's used a lot in lean manufacturing, where they maintain a clean product and work environment every day, and they also build in quality every time they touch the product. So for example, have automated tests, scripts, manuals, and improve them along the way. Use yesterday's weather to improve expectation management with your team's customers. Think about introducing a concept called yesterday's weather. So just count the number of tasks you finished in the last 2 weeks and take the average of the last 10 weeks and then communicate this to your stakeholders. So for instance, your average is you finish 25 tasks in 2 weeks time. And now management and stakeholders are expecting you to finish 100 tasks. Then you can say, no, not going to happen, but most likely we can finish 25 tasks. Which one of the 100 do you want us to prioritize? And most likely we will finish them at the end of the next iteration. Or they say, no, but we need all 100 tasks. Then you can say, yeah, we're going to need roughly 4 iterations for this. So in 8 weeks time, we are going to be finished. That's a very honest and real communication. And it also helps your team to have a sustainable pace. Introduce ELMO into your meetings. ELMO stands for enough, let's move on. So have ELMO sit on your desk in your meetings, and it will help your team to stay more focused. And every time your focus wanders around, point to ELMO and the team will most likely come back to the topic. So what do you think? Is there a hack you want to try out? Or maybe you have other hacks you're trying out to improve the productivity in your team in 2023. Leave a comment below and share your insights. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you want to see more videos about me, watch my latest videos here. And please subscribe to my channel to learn more about how to make your teams happier and more productive. And now I wish you an awesome 2023 and beyond, and an enjoyable and productive time.